Hi, this is Gunjit. You're watching us on Cineblues, and yeah, I have Diggi with me.
Hi, this is Diggi. You're watching us on Cineblues. We're very happy to be here.
Hi, this is Ahwan here, and today we have the writing team, Gunjit Chopra and Diggi Sisodia of Kohrra. Uh, you must be knowing that Kohrra season 2 has dropped on Netflix, and the show is immensely being praised for its layered and deep nature of storytelling. What we saw earlier in Kohrra season 1 in 2003 when it released was a very different Punjab, which is starkly in contrast with what the Johars and the Chopra showed us, the mustard fields and all. But here, in Kohrra, we have a very different Punjab that we get to see. Not only that, and also the conflicted characters which merge with the storyline. So we will have a lot of discussions with Diggi and Gunjit ji about how they came up with the story and all those things. So yeah, so that's it. So first things first, I would like to congratulate you because Kohrra is one of the very rare shows that has been immensely being praised, critically acclaimed also, and this season 2 is also having that much of garnered that much of heat and appreciation what it had earlier in 2023 when the first season released. So congrats for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Gunjit and Diggi sir, you presented a very different view of Punjab, right? It's very different from what we have been seeing on the screen in Bollywood, basically, if you say from that perspective. So, I wanted to know, like, first, how did you locate this grain of Kohrra? How did it come to your mind first?
The first season, you or
Yeah,
this
yeah.
the first, yeah, I mean, I was traveling a lot in Punjab, so I wanted to do something. So it kind of came, the story came from Punjab rather than Punjab came into the story. So
Hmm.
it was always based in Punjab. So
Right.
I was I got done with the Patal and I was looking for another story to do, and in between I had a small idea which I shared with Diggy when we met,
Okay.
and that was just like a starting of the show, and we didn't know where we want to take it.
Right.
And I just had a lot of experiences and a lot of cultural references with me which I
Mhm.
wanted to use. And then we started kind of working together, and as they say, rest is history.
Okay. And how did this collaboration happen between you and Diggi sir? First, how did you?
We met on a different show. We
Okay.
met on a show that actually was there's something that I was creating and I was directing, and then Gunjit. I actually met Gunjit through another friend of ours.
Acha.
He was coming off of, I think, Urta Punjab had also released by then, right?
Yeah.
So we just met at at a gathering, and there was a artistic connection. So
Hmm.
when we were going to do that show, so then Gunjit and I started to work on that together.
Yes.
That show ended up going into the back burner.
Okay.
But we became very good friends. And then Gunjit narrated this idea to me, this one line of this groom who comes, British Punjabi groom comes, he dies,
Hmm.
and we knew who the killer was. We knew there were two cops, and I mean, like, obviously that I found it very interesting. And then from there we just said, कि चलो यार, इस पे काम करते हैं.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's how it began. And I mean, we say this is a half joke, but Kohrra was born in the happy hours of the Irish House Bar, really, because we used to meet and we used to just keep jamming, and we used to keep talking about this. So it took. I mean, we worked on it for a while
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
and then we did the Bible on it, and then we took it to Sudeep, who's kind of who Gunjit's like a kid brother to him, and then फिर वहां से ये शुरू हुई थी कहानी.
Okay. So was it difficult for you to pitch this idea about Kohrra, either to Sudeep, and then you probably went to the other people, right? The producers and all, or Netflix for that matter. Was it difficult to pitch in the idea because the story is kind of very different we can say it's more darker, more it has a depressing nature to it because of its conflicted characters, the moral dilemmas. Was it difficult, to get onto the you know get
I mean,
going?
difficult means, I mean, we only had, I only had one choice, going to Sudeep, and Sudeep had a one choice of going to Netflix, and they both said yes. In that sense, yes, it wasn't difficult, but I didn't have a, we didn't have a backup plan. I knew that, okay, I want to give it to Sudeep, and we asked him to read it, and he quite liked it, and that's where it kind of started. And we had like we worked on it a lot. I think for good a few months. So we had like a
Almost a
very
year.
longish Bible on it, and you're kind of as good as your last project, I guess. So Sudeep and I both were coming from Patal Lok, so maybe it was a little easier,
Yeah,
but I think we just got lucky.
right, right.
And I think, and just to add on that, was that when Gunjit and I first started to work on the Bible,
Uh-huh.
it was to serve the characters and the story. We said, yeah, isko kar dete hain. Instead of worrying about how it would fit with the market forces or who would be the correct fit as a platform. We just decided to work on the characters and the story.
Right, right.
Okay, and so in that case, in that sense, there was a freedom that
Hmm.
we had because it was an absolute blank slate, and we could do with it as we chose.
Right.
So that's how it ended up being coming together. And then when Kunjit took it to Sudeep, Sudeep liked it, and then Netflix liked it. So then that kind of made things simpler.
Easier,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the beauty of Kohrra actually lies in its characters, like the morally damaged characters and its protagonists. Like they are probably treating a more complex territory than the people who committed the crime itself, than the people whom they are looking for. Right. So was it a conscious thought, Gunjit and Diggi Saab? Was it there that you will
Uh,
have those kind of characters? Was it like that?
I mean, yeah, there is I mean, there are kinds of procedurals that were happening in India, and it
Yeah.
was by design that we thought that we'll go rather deeply into the lives of the cops or
Yeah.
the detectives.
Right.
So that was the idea, rather
Hmm.
than just going into the case, and in a way, have the cops look into their lives and pick up kind of a thing or two, and see how they can use it in the case, or it's just the duality of everybody's kind of character that we wanted to explore.
Right.
So I mean, on the face of it, maybe it feels like a thriller or a procedural, but
Hmm.
after a point we wanted everyone to just forget that there is a investigation going on. I mean, we were more concerned about the drama and the in the personal lives of the cops than the main investigation. So
Right.
yeah, it was by design.
Yeah, the murder was the murder was the shiny object on which you peg the
Ah,
real story which we wanted to tell, which
yeah.
was the lives of these characters. So that was one thing where we were like,
Yeah.
through this murder investigation, you go into the dirt under the nails, so to speak, of these characters and their lives.
Right.
And the fact of that, if this murder did not take place, these characters who inhabit very different worlds, none of their worlds would collide,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
It just would never happen. It's because of this one tragedy, very, very different lives
Yes.
are
Yes.
now colliding with each other. So it was very rich to see those lives. I think it would have been a failure had we not looked at those lives.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, right. So in Kohrra 2, we see a female protagonist here, like who is, of course, we have Barun Sobti's Amarpal as the constant factor, but here there's a slight detour on what Surinder Vicky had played, and now we have you injected Mona Singh in place of Surinder. So was that also a conscious choice, like having a female protagonist here who is also grappling with her own damaged personal life and all those things?
Totally, totally. We wanted to do
Uh-huh.
something different. Totally. It was by design, and we thought that it would be nice to have a female perspective or a female cop
Right.
in a place like Punjab, where you haven't seen many stories where you see like a female cop story in a place like Punjab. So we thought that it would be very interesting to look at an investigation or a show from a female cop's perspective,
Hmm.
and look at the human side of a woman cop in Punjab. So we
Yeah.
thought that it's very interesting. Because we had done the whole two male buddy cop story already in the
Correct,
first
correct.
season, we thought that we need something kind of new to explore and give us like some food for thought. So yeah,
And also see with, I mean, even though Balbir became a fan favorite,
Hmm.
the writers' room with all three of us, we had, there was nothing of his life that we hadn't explored already in season one. You
Right.
yeah,
know, everything of Balbir, you have
Was
taken.
explored.
So I mean, so then to just, then the season two would have just, we would, right, try to manufacture some drama to keep him and then ek naya case kar do, which
Huh.
would have been the lower hanging fruit. It would have been easier to do, but we felt it would not, it wouldn't be true to the intentions of the show.
Right.
And the whole thing of a female cop having
Yeah.
to work in a complete patriarchal system, and then, the push pull that exists at work and in her personal life,
Right.
you know, thought it would be very interesting
yeah. You naturally get that tension if you have a female cop in a place like that.
Can you tell what was the most difficult character to tackle and to write in Kohrra 2? There are a lot of characters that we see, right? And despite apart from the kind of situation, the dilemmas that these two people are thrown into, Mona and Barun, there are other lot of characters like any character, let's say about Arun Kumar,
Yeah,
played by Predak, and
yeah,
also even Anurag Arora. He also has a very he's treating a very complex and very personal turmoil in his
yeah.
life. So none of these characters are having hunky-dory lives here. So what is the most difficult character that you wrote for? You felt that was too difficult to handle in Kohrra
I
2?
mean, it's not about difficulty. It's always about how interesting they are. I mean,
Hmm.
अंकी डोरी तो सिर्फ पंजाबी गानों में ही होता है यार कि बंदूक उठा ली और ये कर दिया. Mostly जिंदगी में तो you have अनुराग like Baljinders only, who's that's what happens in life.
uh,
I mean, वो एक जो आदमी जो पंजाब का जिसकी एक पिक्चर दिखाई जाती है गानों में कि उसके पास गन भी है और लैंड क्रूजर भी है और
hmm.
बढ़िया लड़की भी है सब कुछ. तो वो तो एक that's how they that's good for a music video.
Hmm.
But for a show like this, we wanted to have these characters. I mean, they weren't difficult to write. I think the more shades they have, they're more interesting to write rather than difficulty. You explore
Yeah,
or
explore
kind of
more.
look
Uh,
deep into them. It actually, it gets more and more interesting rather than difficult. But yeah, I mean, especially like you said, Arun Kumar. Arun Kumar's character is actually one of our favorite characters
yeah.
because also because that character is has its own arc, has its own kind of
Yeah,
uh,
and it's beautiful
uh,
how you converge his story onto the prime plot. Right? That was a
yeah,
beautiful part of it.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes,
Yeah,
no,
that's
so
what we wanted to do. So that's the fun that I'm talking about that you have with the characters.
hmm,
It's
hmm.
yeah, no, I mean, that's like maybe not difficult, but like the one thing that we were very aware of,
Okay.
while doing it, was that for the show to work, for
Yeah,
this particular case to work, put it that way, for
right.
this case to work,
Huh.
Arun Kumar and Rakesh Kumar had to be absolutely on point. And even
yeah.
for the actor who plays Rakesh Kumar, he's done an incredible
Oh,
job,
what is his
right?
name?
Taking the
Yeah,
climax. So
I I could not find his name, but
He's
yeah.
uh, uh, I'll tell you his name.
No,
How
it's
can I
okay.
forget?
Uh,
Uh,
just that I don't want to give any spoilers here, but people might not have watched
his
that.
name
But
is Satyakam Anand.
Satyakam Anand. Oh, oh, yeah.
He's the same guy who was there in Wasipur. He's actually he has the best scene in the film
Oh,
where he plays Tigmanshu Dhulia's son who he says tumse na ho paega.
then how
He's the
about? Oh
same
my
character.
God.
The same character. A same actor.
so
Okay.
so that was like, for us, it was like, these two characters had to work completely for
Right.
the case to work what it was. So
Yeah.
we were conscious of that. I mean, from a
Yeah.
difficult point of view, I don't think it was difficult, but But it's
Yeah.
always
Challenging,
complicated, right?
challenging, we say, right?
But
It's more
it is always
challenging.
complicated when weaving these threads. But that
Yeah,
is, you know,
right.
that's that's part of the process.
Like we see in one frame we see Jaideep. He's
Yeah.
monitoring the CCTV part, and I just saw that okay, his character will develop, but it was only that scene. How did it happen? Like you
Yeah,
just
that's the dodge we
that
wanted to
wasn't it
do.
on
Everybody
point
thought that, yeah.
information. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. We were just sitting. He to Sudeep, so he came like a day before just to surprise him.
Okay.
And then I think they had a pact that whenever Sudeep will direct his first thing, Jaideep Bhai has to he needs to play a part in it. So he
Okay.
asked me who's doing this role tomorrow. What scene are you shooting tomorrow? I said yeah, ये lineman है और ऐसा ऐसा. Which
That's
actor
right.
is playing? Okay,
Huh.
चलो यार मेरा costume ready करवा दो. And talking about him, we went to the everybody was taking it as a joke, but yes, of course, we had a first kind of take,
Hmm.
and then he came to me and he
Hmm.
said, यार ये कैरेक्टर तो पंजाब का है तो मैं हिंदी क्यों बोल रहा हूँ
Hmm.
मुझे
Hmm.
पंजाबी में दो ये लाइनें.
Punjabi though.
Yeah, in those next 20 seconds or whatever, 1 minute, I told him, okay, Punjabi में ऐसे बोलेगा. And
Right.
he did that. And
Yeah.
only a very intelligent actor can either ask for or give his opinion on this. That, okay, ये तो लाइनमैन है, लोकल आदमी होगा यहाँ का, ये हिंदी क्यों बोल रहा है?
So, what do we get to see next from you, as in Gunjit and Diggi? You have a lovely collaboration, and that also reflects in the kind of conversation we just had in the last half an hour. But that's
Yeah,
great.
we are working on a couple of projects. There is a feature film that we are doing. There is a show that we are working on. So yeah, there are a couple of things that we can't really talk about or tell
Okay.
you that what they're about
There are a
until
lot of things in the pipeline.
yeah,
Yes.
there are two to
Great.
three things that we are doing. Yeah, for sure.
Or would you be also exploring the world of Kohrra in to the
I
field?
don't know yet. I mean, we're
Okay.
looking for a dead body. As soon as we find it, we'll try to show.
It's a good one.